don't think there were any crates in here either, although maybe we should take a quick second to double check. Looks like it's mostly just the VI terminal. Okay. Yeah, let's carry on then. Okay. Staircase here. And signs of enemies. So where exactly they are is not immediately obvious. That might be the claw in question. And, that's interesting. Those Geth appear to be, praying? Question mark? To whatever this claw structure is. So that's definitely odd. But, you know, while they're in that position, I mean, I suppose we could proceed to mess with them here with, say, something like a singularity to suck them both up into the air and then throw them all over the place and make them explode.
The Geth use these claws to anchor their ships to the sides of buildings.
Indelicate perhaps, but very efficient. How do we cut the power if it's coming from the ship?
It will be difficult. We can check the other claws for weaknesses, but the Geth are very thorough.
Okay. So that does perhaps give us, at the very least, a lead. This does look like perhaps a drop down that we will not be able to come back up from, but I think we've done everything in that previous area, so we should be good. And we can... Oh, what the heck? A fried person, it looks like? Looks like we can examine the glowing orb.
This structure seems to have significance for the Geth. Is it possible they set up this room to serve as a sacred temple of sorts?
The Geth blur the line between organic and synthetic life. It's natural to assume they seek understanding from a higher power.
That is strange to hear coming from Tally. But, yeah, I mean, it did certainly look like what they were doing there when we... well, I mean, we did kind of interrupt them. So, sorry? But also, there is a locked crate here that we can nab. As soon as we get an opening, which I think we have now. Let's see. So we've got a decent shotgun, and then that Colossus armor. That, if I'm not mistaken, also the shield interface that we get just from having fought those guys. That armor, I believe, is the best armor in the game. I believe it is. It is, of course, level 9 on this occasion, so it's not quite perfect, but it is awfully close, and it is conveniently light human armor, which means we can use it, most notably. So, this is, as I was saying before, cost of fabrication is on the same level usually as Rosenkopf materials and the Armax arsenal. Those are sort of the three that are all on the same level. However, as we were saying previously, Rosenkopf, technically speaking, does seem to have a little bit more of a boost when it comes to their weapons, whereas I think Casa is the one that has a little bit of a boost when it comes to their armor, making this functionally the best armor for us. And I don't think there are any Spectre manufacturer armors, in which case this is quite literally the very best at level 10. There isn't some Spectre rarity gear that is better still that we're waiting for. No. I mean, we'd love for it to be level 10, but we will absolutely take this. And yeah, I think I remember the style of it as well. I'm pretty sure this is it. And I mean, as you can see from the stats, of course, that's a pretty sweet damage protection, pretty sweet shields, and pretty sweet even tech biotic protection as well. And did we really not have a second upgrade on here? We may have had a low enough level armor that we could not fit another one. So we have medical exoskeleton 10. That's certainly nice. But what if we... I mean, getting hardening and physics threshold is potentially relevant because hardening affects, what is it? Is it both tech ability and biotic abilities? The amount of damage you take from that? Because generic damage protection coming from, say, energized plating does not affect tech abilities or biotic abilities, the amount of damage you take from those. So it's a little bit deceptive with this damage protection number here. It is not necessarily all-encompassing. And so, it's mostly weapon fire in that case that it is protecting you from. But that does mean that things like combat exoskeleton can actually be, in some situations, better for the more the more unusual abilities that enemies use, but they tend to be the more powerful abilities that enemies use, the tech abilities, the biotic abilities. So, in a pinch, this can be quite relevant. So, I'm thinking we may even throw this on here, now that we have that extra spot. And I just want to see if that means that by extension, by domino effect, we may be able to now give a better armor to Liara, namely the one that we were just using. It would be this, which would have better damage protection, worse shields, better tech biotic protection. It's technically a lower level though, so although the stats are probably a little bit better, it does mean that she would lose one of those armor or upgrade slots, which may be enough of a difference maker that it's actually preferable for her to keep her existing armor. I mean, of course, if we had Titan just a little bit higher level so that we could use a second upgrade slot, then that'd be much better. But I think we stick with what she has here, although for that same reason why I was saying the energized plating maybe not the best option. What if we instead also use combat exoskeleton on her? Also, the smash damage is, of course, not super relevant. That is maybe mostly a thing for someone like Rex, who we'd expect to be up close and personal with them. We also see an upgrade once more for our main quest here. The Geth ship's claws are too large to disable with conventional weapons. Find the Geth ship's primary claw and figure out a way to destroy it. Okay. So in that case, let's carry on here with our new and improved armor. And it looks like we can head down in this direction. And if we take a look at our map... Yeah, okay. So, still looking at the same map. It hasn't changed now that we've dropped down. It's just this sort of exemplifies a change in elevation of sorts. And I do like the looks of this armor. I think more so than... I forget what the color was of our previous armor, but I like the red and black is kind of classic Mass Effect in my eyes. Okay, definitely some enemies here by the looks of things. Hello? Anybody home? Because it certainly looks like it. Let's not get sniped. We almost got sniped. We are about to get sniped. There are a lot of the, no, that's not what I meant to do. A lot of the hoppers, it seems. And they are the ones that are hard to track down, and they're the ones that are perhaps best when it comes to sniping us. Oh, also you. Also you. Let's just get you out of here real quick. Conveniently, they are lifted right as we were starting to throw. That is a great combo. It does increase our damage and take out some snipers while we're at it. In theory, I was gonna say there's still an enemy over there, but no, I think the Ara's lift, or maybe it was even a singularity in truth, pretty darn effective, as it turns out. And that does appear to be one of maybe two of the barriers that we are looking to take down. We have some stuff over here. That would, in theory, take us to the upper level. This would, in theory, take us also to the upper level. Let's just take a look a little bit around first before we commit to either of those. Oh, it does seem like either way. Well, maybe there isn't much in this direction, come to think of it. Maybe we do. Head over here. We can go up, we can go down. When it comes to down, there's not much but fire and rubble and ruin. So up it is, I suppose. And definitely more signs of enemies here. A lot of them, potentially, at that. We do have a secure crate, but is it a trap? Because it feels like it might be. Well, we can get it from here. Oh, couldn't quite sneak in there. Thought I might have had just enough time to do it. Hold on. Make it in. There we go. Alright, let's see. Anything particularly interesting here? We do have an Omni tool. Don't think the Chameleon is really any good, though. I'm pretty sure that's the worst one. And we also get more combat optics. Just double check. Chameleon tool. I mean, it's a better version of the one that we're currently using. It is the all-out tech cooldown bonus one. Which is, I mean, there's something to be said for that. Just spamming skills as quickly as possible. out of curiosity, let's just double check, because both of our other characters here are also Omni-tool users. So in theory, should have some of the best Omni-tools around at the moment, and yeah, it's pretty important that we give a good Omni-tool to Tali, what with her being our tech specialist. So at the very least, we can domino effect to give her a one level higher version of what she was already using for her Omni-tool. Though alternatively, could go shields, well, I mean, yeah, tech cooldown, I think is really just significantly more important than those other two things here. So I suppose that means this is 1 point better for tech cooldown. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong stat. I was gonna say, thought it was 25 versus 26. In this case, we're getting at least some decent shields as well. But no, I think the answer in this case is definitely still the chameleon tool. It doesn't look great because it is basically just that tech cooldown that we're upgrading, but I think, like I said, that is definitely the most important, so I think it's still worth it. Okay, now there are probably a fair bit more Geth here. I'm thinking, since there's apparently one that is almost directly on top of us, I'm thinking it's probably a hopper that is basically clinging to this wall directly above us. Okay, we found some. Liara. Last time, this worked extremely well. Care to do it again? Also, there's that. What if we, say, have Tali overload that container to make it go boom? It did not take out everyone, but okay, yeah, as expected. I think that was the hopper in question. There is still somebody over here? Somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. In fact, multiple enemies somewhere. Where? Tali? Better just run over there. Or, no, not there. Say, there. And get their attention. Oh. Okay, strange that that didn't draw any fire. Surely that means it's completely safe, right? 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 But anyways, we have whatever these are. Seem to be some kind of Geth technology. And I think in this room, depending on if you have already done some things in other locations, you may get some additional ones of these pieces of technology to interact with. But on this occasion, we just have the exogeny terminal with average decryption. Let's try to break through this. And here we go. Okay, confidential. The test samples were due to arrive 3 days ago, but we haven't heard anything from the colony or the cargo vessel. We suspect the samples became volatile and recommend cutting off all further contact with the Nauticrux colony. Even if the colony is discovered, no one should be able to trace the events there back to us. Well, until now, that is. So, that gives us a new journal entry. To investigate a facility, we found a confidential transmission while on Ferris. It's unclear exactly what's going on, but it appears Exogeny sent some kind of sample to a research facility on Nauticrux. So Nauticrux is located in the Vostok system of the Maroon Sea cluster. Head there and find out what's going on. And Maroon Sea is actually a cluster that we have not yet been able to go to. So we'll have to take a look out for that soon, once we are done on Ferris. Of course, we have other more pressing needs to attend to at the moment. And other dead people, I'm afraid. Alright, let's take a look at our map here. How do we actually get out of here? Because, in theory, I did not place that at there, but I guess this is our destination. Also, okay, no, shuttle bay door controls. Okay, it appears as though there might be a way for us to get up here. We've got some stairs. Imagine that. What is the state-of-the-art technology?
Same as before. We don't have the ordnance to blow this claw. Let's keep looking.
Oh, well. That's definitely a destroyer. Ominous music as well. Okay, maybe worth a quick, I would say save here. Will you even let us? Are we technically still in combat? We may be. But yeah, I certainly have enemies that are, in theory, quite close to us. Although at the moment they seem to be preoccupied, may not have noticed our presence just yet. That has quickly changed, though. Including, but not limited to, this guy, who is a problem. May have already hit us. I think we... Oh, that's a Geth Ghost? Which I'm trying to remember. There are 3 different varieties of the hoppers. I think Ghost might be the strongest. So, yeah, that's a problem. I think given how he has the red glow on him, I think that means we have hit him with the sabotage, so that's good, because we did take some kind of hit from... I think it was him. And, what if we say... I mean, we have a huge swarm of Geth down below. I'd like to save something like Singularity for that. What if we just... sabotage... well... you, specifically. Ideally, before you escape us. Okay, now we've got Shock Trooper down here. Let's have Tally overload you. Okay, and we got more where that came from. The Destroyer is the most concerning one. I think this is the strongest enemy in this group. Okay, may have a way to dislodge this claw, but we are still a little preoccupied at the moment. One moment, please. You're a sniper, which I do not like. Please do not shoot us with your sniper rifle. Now they're all gone. So yeah, relatively large group here. Fortunately, we could isolate them a little bit and keep a safe distance by staying on the stairs there. And now we have, yeah, several more containers. Let's check these out. Oh, thought we just barely stuck in there. There we go. Okay, we got a decent pistol, decent shotgun, and the sniper rifle, that's from a lower rarity manufacturer, so that's not as big of a deal, even if it's still level 9. Okay, so that's something. And like I said, I think maybe it's in the previous room we were just in, maybe it's in this room where, theoretically, I think, depending on whether you've gotten some, or completed some other side missions, you may technically get an entry for one of them from these areas here, these little modules of sorts, but we have the shuttle bay door, which is what Liara and Tally were referring to before. So if we activate this, it might be, we might find a way to disable the claw. Let's take a look. Find a repair ticket attached to the console. Door to the shuttle bay is fried again. Works fine if the PSI is 30 or lower, and the safety shutoff kicks in if the PSI gets above 34. But if the PSI is in the 31 to 34 zone, door slams down with enough power to shear through a metal I-beam. Somebody fix this before one of my team loses an arm in that thing. Is this the Geth who wrote this? Seems kind of strange that the Geth would write that. Or is this one of the Exogeny employees? Either way, we're looking for getting this somewhere between 31 and 34. So we can increase the PSI by 5, 7, 17, 11, or 13. And I don't remember if you can hit these multiple times, so basically like just do it in increments of 5 or just do it in increments of 7, or if you can only activate each of these once. I don't recall. But either way, it does mean we're in for some maths here, I'm afraid. So looking for, I forget if it, is it 31 to 34 inclusive or exclusive? Because we have a lot of 7s here. So that could be a relevant question, like 7 plus 17 would be 24. Then I thought we had a 10. Oh no, we have an 11. Okay, so that would take us over. Okay, so what if we do 5, 17 brings us to 22, 11 brings us to 33. That should work. So 5, 17, and then 11. So we're in that high pressure range, which means if we activate this, in theory, we should shred through some stuff. And in this case, that means the claw. Yeah, so I think it must have been the Exogeny people with their door to this facility, and it just so happens that there is a Geth claw in that doorway. So down goes the ship. Quite a ways at that. Don't think it's coming back anytime soon.
Very good. The field barring the exit will be down. Now we can go deal with the Storian creature. I hope that ship was full of those Geth bastards.
I repeat, Normandy to shore party. Are you reading? Anyone there? Normandy to shore party. Come on, Commander, talk to me.
Alright, well, we were theorizing previously that that barrier was also preventing us from communicating with the crew on the Normandy, but it seems like now that that barrier is down, we can do that once more.
Is that you, Joker? What's going on over there?
We're in lockdown here, Commander. Something happened to the colonists. They're banging on the hull, trying to claw their way inside the ship. They're freaking out.
That doesn't sound good. Don't panic.
They can't do any real damage. We're on our way back. Just hold your position.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just wait right here for you, Commander.
I was gonna say, Joker's like, what else am I supposed to do, Commander? What else can I do but hold my position? Am I supposed to fly off without you? Certainly not, right? Okay, so, everyone stay close.
This place will be crawling with Geth in a minute. Keep together and we'll get out of here in one piece.
They're probably not gonna be pleased with us tearing off their little fighter there. Oh, we also have a server node here. Okay, so let's check this out. And wait for our moment. Oh, I don't think that was our moment. I think this is our moment. And so we get a private log of Dr. Gamorle. I don't trust this Cerberus group. They may pay us well, but if this gets out before we've developed an antidote, it's just not smart. They won't tell us what they want and samples for, or why they wanted them delivered to the Montano system. My records show nothing of interest out there. Okay, well that gives us another journal entry here. To investigate samples, while on Ferris you found the personal log of an Exogeny employee. The doctor's notes seem to express some concern about samples they provided to a group they refer to only as Cerberus. And that name might ring a bell as the name that has been behind just about every nasty scientific experiment that we've seen for side quests. Of course, well, Exogeny has perhaps quickly risen up on that list and maybe at or near the top at this point, after what we learned about the Thorian. But I suppose even on Noberia, we heard of some somewhat shady dealings with other groups as well. But, well, Cerberus is certainly seemingly behind a lot of stuff as well. So that will be an assignment we'll check out in the future as well, and we also get an update on our main mission. Which, now we're looking to exit Exogeny. You have destroyed the Geth ship. Now get Lisbeth, Phanom, and leave Exogeny. So bear in mind, she's been hiding this entire time. And one of our objectives was to save her. So we are looking to reconvene with her and then escape with her. Then we also picked up a medical exoskeleton 9. I mean, we'd love 10, but that is still something we are a big fan of using. I just want to make sure that we are not missing any other modules of any sort, because I mean there are definitely a lot of them around here, and I think on some occasions it can be easy to miss them. So we got one there. That was all with that stuff there. In particular, I do have something else in mind. Don't recall exactly where it is, but I'm wary of us potentially having missed something. Let me just double back here for a split second, make sure we didn't miss anything in the previous little area. Thought we did spend a bit of time checking around, but I want to make sure that we didn't miss something that we potentially would not be able to go back to get. May be able to gather what I am alluding to here, based on what we have recently learned about other things we can do here, but it doesn't seem like there's anything else there, so perhaps my memory is just a little foggy on the matter, and we may have just not come across what I'm looking for just yet. And, well, I suppose we do already know what the thing in question is, so I'll spill the beans. I'm trying to recall where exactly we can get the information for the data recovery. Because remember, Gavin Hossel we saw in the same area where we saw Lisbeth's mother, with that sort of middle location of colonists. And he was saying he wanted us to get that information because it could be quite valuable, and he was the independent contractor of sorts. Let's save here just in case we do accidentally miss it and think that we need to go back, but I'm hoping that it's just a little bit further ahead and I don't recall exactly where it is. Okay, then we get, well, what could be a very good pistol here. Other than that, a decent assault rifle as well. Let's take a quick look. That might become the best pistol that we have. Here we go. It is here. Oh, it's the same, exactly the same one that we currently have equipped. Maybe best to compare that to what Liara or Tally have on at the moment. In that case, the heatsink capacity is just ridiculous. Oh no, it's this one. Sorry. It's the same as what Liara has as well, though. That being said, the Brawler heatsink capacity is insane. That is true. But I think probably still prefer the pure damage. For Tally, she's using the Brawler. So yeah, it is that question of, do you prefer the heatsink capacity or do you prefer more so the pure damage and sacrificing a tiny bit of accuracy for it as well? I think you probably do prefer the damage. Again, just damage per second. I mean, if you can fire for 17 seconds straight, then how many opportunities are you actually going to have to do that? To just hang out outside of cover, shooting at someone for 17 seconds? That they're going to be firing back at you, right? You're probably going to need to duck back into cover, or you'll be focusing on other enemies or something like that, and, you know, so I think for that reason, once you start getting up that high with the heatsink capacity, it's not really that big of a deal, unless you are deliberately trying to put on explosive rounds and still be able to fire multiple shots, but that's sort of its own situation. So let's throw on the cart bomb then, I think. Especially because Tally is up there in terms of people we want to prioritize with good pistols. I mean, Caden arguably might be the one that comes after us and Liara because he doesn't have access to shotguns training, whereas Tally does. But that's the only other weapon that Tally has training for, so it probably does still make sense to give her that upgraded pistol. And speaking of upgrades, this is interesting. Talking about that whole heatsink capacity question. How valuable is that versus damage? And I mean, the difference here is that 17 heatsink capacity is ridiculously high and means that you are almost never going to overload your weapon, whereas 2 seconds of heatsink capacity is pretty tiny and means you are very easily going to overheat your weapon, especially when it comes to weapons that you're deliberately using sledgehammer rounds with reduced heat absorption and scram rails with also reduced heat absorption. It means that we need to be a little more careful on that front, and so for that reason, it's actually less than 9 with her equipped shotgun here. And if we want her to actually be able to shoot 2 rounds or more, then we do need to keep this one on. If we switch to the Armageddon, then that's not going to happen. So I think, or Armageddon, then we should definitely stick with what we have. Okay, is this just a little loot area and nothing else? Because I'm not sure we're up and down here anytime soon. I think we may even be doubling back now that we have gotten rid of that barrier. Yeah, because we saw the place where that barrier was. We just obviously couldn't go through it because it was up there. So I think we actually do need to head back, come to think of it. A good thing that we checked that other room just to get the loot. Okay, and yeah, well, we're here. Like I said, we got that. It's just I find this area in particular can be a little tricky to spot everything in. There's a lot of those types of computer-looking items. So, yeah, we seem to have concluded that there's nothing else for us over here. So, let's carry on? Question mark? Which, on second thought, oh, does it take us through here? We are standing in the fire. That's actually interesting. We got a heat hazard from stepping in it, and rather than just directly taking damage. Oh, this is exactly where we came from, is it not? It is, isn't it? Like, we do this. Yeah, now we're starting to take damage, but we do have some health regeneration, but, that is kind of funny. Okay.
All targets eliminated.
Is that where we came from? No, hold on. Let me double check our map. So we need to go through there, which is the way we just came from, is it not? Or is it? Hold on. Here. What? What? We're there. I admit to being a little confused. How do we get out of here? One moment, please. Is there another exit that I am not noticing? Like, is there another way out through here? Huh? Seemingly not. The heck? Probably just a little side area that had that barrier that I forgot about. I'm not currently seeing it. Is the other area that had this chest? I mean, well, for a second I thought that was Get. But no, like, these are all drop downs that I don't think we can go down. So, I see several dead ends. I don't actually see where we leave from. Huh? What? Excuse me? Not like there's a gaping hole where we got rid of the Geth Claw that we can immediately go through? Huh? Not like we're about to hop on that, I don't think. It does seem like our map trying to send us back in this direction. Is there another way down that I'm just not seeing here? Is there a staircase? So there we go. Now we're in business. Okay. Surroundings a little dark, and what looked like a wall was actually an area that we could go through. Okay, but again, keep our eyes peeled, because I'm a little concerned that we may have missed the source of that data for the side mission. But it may be through the area where we have now unlocked using, or well, now that we've gotten rid of that, by taking out the claw. And if we go up this way, then yeah, we should be on our way out to the upper level. And we can see some signs of enemies here, it would seem. Those are Krogan, not Geth. So, that does perhaps mean we absolutely want to make sure that we incapacitate them in some way, shape, or form. Maybe a singularity here. Okay. Love that. All of them are floating. Now maybe we take turns throwing them. They have dropped. I was kind of hoping we would take care of them before they dropped. We can area on our stasis? I did not realize that. Oh, no. That's a problem. Get out of here immediately, please. I think he's dead. There is still one over here, who is still in stasis, as it turns out. He's no longer in stasis. Confirmed. So, that was interesting. I do believe now all targets are down, thankfully. But let's see. Now we have what looks to be almost like a medical area of sorts. Definitely not yet been here. Then we have a secure storage locker. Let's check this out. Where is our best opening? Maybe here? Right now-ish. Okay, and we get some more weapons here, and that's, again, a decent pistol. Other than that, not fantastic, though. Anything else in here? It does not appear so. I swear, the lighting is just a little too dark in here, where I'm like, is there an opening here, or is this just a wall? And the answer is, well, it is a wall. Oh, well, here we go. This is what we're looking for. Gavin Hossel's console. This was the thing that I was concerned we might have accidentally passed. After a few seconds of downloading, you secure Gavin Hossel's design data. Okay, it, as it turns out, didn't even require that we go through one of those mini-games for it. So, that being said, same question we were asking ourselves before is perhaps still relevant here. Where are we going from this direction? Maybe this was technically just a little side area where we were just looking to get that little data recovered, and that's all we need to go here for. So the technician named Gavin was looking for us to recover this data, and we can now return it to him at the refugee camp. I'm thinking that's all there is here, and that this is now just a dead end. And if the primary direction we're actually looking to go in is not here, but rather perhaps here, where we will find Lisbeth. Let's maybe save as well. Okay. Lisbeth.
There you are. We should get out of here. I don't think this place is safe.
Yes, true, but that being said, you may have a lot of explaining to do because, you did not tell us nearly as much as you knew about this whole Thorian thing.
I need some answers. You knew more about the Thorian than you let on.
I was afraid. I wanted to stop the tests, but they threatened me. Told me I'd be next.
That's a pretty
When the
nasty
Geth
threat.
attacked, I stayed behind to send a message to Colonial
Oh yeah, if
Affairs.
you disagree, then we're gonna get you
I
mind
tried to
controlled
tell
by a
them where to
plan.
find the Thorian, but the power cut before I could send the message. I never meant for this to happen.
Okay, I suppose, you know, it does seem like, based on what we saw or heard in those logs there, that she was, if anything, the person who was most opposed to the testing on those test subjects, and still not very clear as to whether they were voluntary subjects or not. I don't think they were. I think that was they were being tested against their will / unbeknownst to them. So yeah, I think for that reason we can be a little more forgiving of her, whereas the others who were more active proponents of continuing the research, they're more so the people that we might have more of a bone to pick with, if you know what I mean. They are perhaps the ones more to blame for continuing the research.
You did what you could. I'll help them, if you can tell me where to find the Thorian.
The Thorian is underneath Zoo's Hope, but the entrance is blocked.
Okay.
The colonists covered it with the freighter just before the Geth attacked.
Oh! The freighter. Yeah, we were in that freighter. I mean, just basically was the main building of the colony, but it turns out that's a little more significant, the placement of that freighter. Alright, perhaps it is a smart move in that case.
But why are the Geth after the Thorian? What could Saren want with it?
Well, it does have unique mind control capabilities.
Yeah?
That's what Exogeny was interested in.
Normandy to shore party, come in.
Yeah, and all this talk from all the other colonists that we ran into, or researchers saying how, there's nothing significant here on Barrows. I don't know why Exogeny is here. We keep on finding nothing. It surely isn't profitable here. What could possibly be so interesting? Why would we possibly even try to make a colony here? No, turns out there is something very important, this whole Thorian thing. But as for Joker.
What is it, Joker?
We're getting a lot of Geth comm chatter. Looks like they're headed your way.
Okay, well, I mean, thanks for the warning.
Thanks for the heads up, Joker. You heard the man. Let's move out.
I'm coming with you. I might be able to help. Undo the mess I helped create.
Okay, I mean, I don't think you're a soldier exactly. But, in theory, despite her not actually appearing to be here, she is, with us, air quotes. And now we will find ourselves back up in this area here where we were before. And, actually, I suppose you can theoretically go back down to this drop-down, which would be the, re-entering the point of no return area, although, now that we know about the Thorian, of course, much has changed since we were last here. But we are, at least in theory, now on our way back. I don't think there should be anything here, because this is where we ran into the armature previously. I don't think the armature comes back. It does not come back. Confirmed. Alright, in which case, the armature may not come back, but we certainly do. There wasn't anything in this area previously, but our Mako is parked in this direction. So let's go over here. And, funny thing to note, you remember, of course, the way we got here was through a very extended skyway system. That, is it available, or is it apparent on our map just yet? Not quite. We'll probably need to go through this, this garage door for it to show up on our map once more. But you remember the very long, straight pathway that, took us in between this area and the actual Zoo's Hope colony? So, the first time that I ever played Mass Effect 1, this part was bugged. And the Mako did not show up. So I went the entire distance from the Exogeny headquarters to the Zoo's Hope colony 100% on foot. So that was fun. Well, fortunately we don't need to do that this time. we do have the Mako showing up, as it is supposed to do, but I guess, you know, theoretically, there is a non-zero chance that you could find yourself with a bugged game in which the Mako does not show up here. And as you might have guessed, sure, it may be inconvenient walking that whole distance on foot, but there's also the whole part where there are enemies, and so, you know, that also meant fighting all these enemies on foot in that first playthrough, which is significant, because there are some big guys here. One moment while we hop over that.